Okay, welcome back everybody. Welcome to Inside Line Racing. This is now my second commentary tonight because I'm putting in a longer shift because reasons. This is ILR4 now, so we've gone up a step. And yeah, welcome back. And we're of course at Bahrain again. And I must say, looking at these drivers, I haven't looked at the ILR4 list before now. But oh my god, the amount of people in here that like I've ever commented on a race with. This is like the compilation of people that I've just been with. It's great. I know like everyone. It's perfect. Got so many goats in here, I must say. So yeah, welcome everybody. Hope you're all looking forward to the race. I certainly am. If you didn't watch ILR8 before this, I highly advise that you do after this because it is a true classic. Honestly, it was absolutely fantastic. It was brilliant. It had everything. Apart from rain, but I mean, we're in the desert. What do you expected? But nah, brilliant race, and hopefully this one could be just as good. I would expect it with the amount of great drivers you have in here. I mean, I genuinely know pretty much everyone here. This is like perfect. Anyway, Chaz I think was the first out of the pits, so hopefully the first on a lap. Strategy, I don't really know yet. I would have thought it'd be medium to hard, but I don't know. ILR8 sort of showed me that anything will work. So we'll see. Just sharing links out. Should have got to do that, haven't you? As I say, who in here do I not know? Because that'd be quite useful. I think actually Chaz is one of those that I haven't seen before. Energy Zeus haven't seen before. I think maybe TNC Wesker, Harry and Ike. Everyone else I've seen before. Or raced with or commentated with. Mostly commentated, or well both, well, sort of 50-50 split. As Josh goes fastest. Now last time I saw Josh run this track, he caused absolute chaos. And he looks like he's going to be starting on soft as well, unless he can get a much quicker second attempt in. Who else is out there? We've got Paul out there. Let's watch Paul. And it says Ferrari. Also on the softs. So we sort of have a split. People either going hards for their early run and then others going softs. I'd assume those on softs are hoping they can improve to mediums, and maybe, like I say, we'll see another race where we have different strategies. As Paul goes wide, has he invalidated the lap? I don't know. He could well have done so. Let's watch Matthew. He is on the hard compound tyre, so he's just for a cycle lap, I guess. Probably be happy to be in the 106s there in the middle sector, and he is indeed in the 106s. These guys are probably going to be about a second, probably a second and a half quicker than ILR8, so I'm going to have to try and figure out how quick exactly we're going to be, but it's going to be a lot quicker than earlier. Round the final corner comes the Red Bull, like I say. I'm keeping a good eye on the Red Bulls this week because I sort of have to try and replicate their success, because Baza won earlier in ILR8, it's his first ever ILR victory. And will we get another Red Bull victory tonight? We've got Ike and Matthew to try and answer that question as J. Cole retires, unfortunately for him. Here's Carriage. Now he's another one of these goats that I like to go on about. I think he won ILR5 as Paul retires. I think he had a qualifying ban anyway, if I remember correctly, actually. So it doesn't really matter, I think. But I was watching Carriage commentating on this guy when he won the ILR5 championship in Season 4. He was very good then. He went to ILR3 last season, but came back down, and he's teammates with Noel, and that's like the dream ILR5 Season 4 partnership right there, those two. If only we had Jamie here, you know, then it would have been really great. You know, make a three-man team, make history, but oh well. Only got those two, but oh well, not going to complain about them. They're still two top guys. And we'll see how they all get on. Dark Bolts, there's been only one who's been in the chat and he's been leaving, so that's useful. Here's Matter, not going quite as quickly as Matthew was. I haven't seen other people's sectors, but that's P10 for the Williams driver. Who else is starting? We've got Ike there starting the lap as Chaza puts mediums on, preparing to go out again soon. And I wonder if I'm going to do an onboard lap, probably watch somebody near the end, but we'll see. Alright, who's in the chat? Ah, Soup, hello. I noticed this as well. Yeah, Abby's in ILR4 now. He was, but the ILR1, I think he was ILR1 last season because he absolutely, you know, destroyed the field in season 4. I think he's maybe on no assists or has changed something. I think he's on no assists, Soup. I'd have to assume. Because I believe we're meant to have Leon in here as well, but I think it's the only one he's missing, and he was what ILR... Oh, and sorry, no, Leon is here. Sorry, apologies, Leon is here. And he was, I think, ILR1 as well, so it's a weird grid, but it's a nice grid at the same time. I quite like it. Ah, man. So you should have been in the commentary box, by the way. You should have got in here. We should have taken the opportunity. We should have been doing this one. We don't get much opportunity to do these commentaries anymore. Anyway, here's Lewis. Yes. I think he's in the Alpha and PSGL as well. I think he quite likes this car. So I'm sure he'll know the ins and outs of it. He's done at least one Bahrain race already on this game, so he may have a better idea than a couple more of these drivers. You'd think I'd have a good idea watching all of these people in so many streams that you'd have thought by now I'd have some idea what the strategy was. Absolutely no idea. I would have thought medium to hard, but like I say, what we saw in ILR8, I know there's a safety car involved, but it looked like we had a variety of different strategies going on, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens as Lewis goes P5. Like I say, we're on the early runs so far. Let's watch Abby, shall we? Lenny! Yeah, I'm going to start doing it back to you. You know, it only makes sense. But yeah, let's watch Abby. See what he's like. See if he's suited to this tier. Does he fit in like a glove, or is he way too quick as he starts his lap? Bit slidey, but it's okay. He'll live. But yeah, he's 18th at the moment out of 19. I imagine Paul will eventually fall down to the back. If you didn't see what Paul did last week, I think he had a couple of incidents. I think he chopped off someone's wind and like deliberately retired. It was like a comedy of errors for Paul McGuinness, unfortunately. Hope he doesn't do that this week though. Maybe starting at the back will help him out a bit. FYI, Lewis almost beat Rafa in ILR1. Do you mean Lewis? That's okay. Oh well. And we've got a debrief going on now with J. Cole. Oh dear. It says that Abby's on an outlap, but that's not possible, game, for him to be on an outlap. If he's on an outlap, then he's been teleporting. No, going away flashbacks. How do you think I feel about you seeing you and Carriage up in ILR4 now? I'm feeling the flashbacks just as much as you, my friend, honestly. It's weird. Anyway, Abby to the line. What's he going to do for his first attempt? P2! Then again, that is P2 out of 2 on the soft, so it's not actually as impressive as it looks. Sorry to spoil the thunder. Carrot saying his car feels like it was made in a show car. Ah, you're still liking the 1080p 60 frames, remember, on your 60-inch television, Lenny. Hope you're loving life. Now, I think his Energy Zeus went for an Alonso-style helmet there, because if he has, he's done a cracking job. I must say, that's looking pretty good. Well, Lewis, I'm sort of inclined to sort of root for you anyway, because I've seen you before in your car and you seem to quite like it, so, I mean, I'm sort of rooting for you. I'm rooting for everyone, though. Like I say, pretty much everyone here is like a goat in my eyes. In their own way. And, well, yeah, Tom doesn't agree with Josh's strategy either. Maybe Josh has got some hidden pace, Tom. You know, you can't doubt this kid, even though you can. Yeah. Anyway, we're waiting for last runs soon, because we're going to be a while, because some people are just waiting in the pits on their mediums. Josh is going to improve. Oh dear. Well, Josh is going to try soft to hard then. We'll see what he does with that. Although I highly doubt it's going to work for him. And we'll find out. Ike out there. He's in the pits instead, actually. Right, how on the lap here are we all on just in-laps? It's a weird one. We're just sort of in limbo. Yellow. How could there be yellow flags? We're all on in-laps. Who's crashed on an in-lap? Leon's actually still out there improving, and that's a nice helmet design. I like a good helmet design when I see it. And to the line, is he going to continue on? It's like he's doing his practice now for his stint. I don't really know, and his teammate follow him as well. It looks like Williams. Oh my goodness! Oh man, that was nearly a heart attack moment there for Warlock, who was absolutely so close to being completely wiped out there by Leon moving out of the way of his teammate. My goodness. Luckily they didn't touch, but a bit of spatial awareness, lads. You've got a very wide straight, don't need to kill each other on it, especially in qualifying. Oh, that could have been an airplane crash again. Right. Harry's on an outlap, coming towards the line. I want to see if anyone's closer though on a set of the immediate notice. No. So looks like a lot of people are now switching to sauce. We've got 6 people at the minute looking to do their fastest lap on the sauce. Although there's still time to abandon the lap and pit and change tyres, so we'll see what happens here. But let's watch Harry on his lap. Hopefully he doesn't get any cars out of the pit lane. He doesn't, so that's good for him. He hasn't got any real traffic. Like I say, most people are going to be waiting, I would have thought, for another minute or two. And Harry's abandoning the lap, so something's going on there. So let's watch Lewis instead. This could well be his final run. He's probably given himself enough fuel for 2 laps if he needs it, I would assume. But here he goes. 4 minutes 20 to go. Blazing. And down towards turn 1 he goes. Williams' boys are still going on, at least Matter is. Anyway, like I say, I feel like they're almost doing their stint practice now as Lewis has a humongous tank slapper. And that could have been in the wall Max Verstappen qualifying style, but he has to keep going. Because this could well be his, race starting set. I don't know, I assume it's best out some hards. So he'll fall through the field if he doesn't improve the lap. Yellow flag, sector 2, that is for Harry, who's decided he's going to park off at the side of the track for a little refreshment or something. Yeah. Let's go back to Lewis. He'll be coming back onto this actually in a moment. He may actually get slipstream with his teammate. That could be what Harry's waiting for. Because he'll need the slipstream, because he, like I said, a bit of a poor run out of the hill. He slid about. Look out for the Alfa Romeo. He should be appearing on the straight, I would have thought. There he is. Right on cue. And Lewis will gain probably an extra sort of 5 to 10 miles an hour from that. So that's a good team play. And into the final corner. Or the final 2 corners. Lewis, does he go higher or high enough really to be a factor? He's backed off. He wants to start on some hards. Okay. Right, that's interesting. Energy Zeus doing his lap onto the softs. And we'll see how he gets on there. Interestingly, for Alonso helmet design, I wonder why he hasn't gone for number 14. I know Paul McGuinness has got the 14 as well, but like, who cares? Like, ILR 5 season 4, we had like 4 or 5 different 15s. We had 2 Cybers with the 15 as teammates. You're allowed to run the same number as your teammate, I think. Anyway, 2 minutes 15 to go, and we're just waiting to see if anyone on the sauce is going to abandon this lap, or they're really going to go for it, because there's a lot more people on the sauce than I expected. Tom, like I say, I don't think he thinks this is the right strategy. I don't think this is the right strategy. I think you want to be starting on mediums and going to hard for the race, after your first stint. But then again, listen, ILR8, we saw a safety car. There was a humongous pile up on the main straight, and it took most of the field out. We thought. But then, like I said, safety car came out about 10 laps later and changed everything, and Zeus goes P2. So I guess it could still come down to a safety car, which could change it all, but we'll see. 5/10 up is Chaza, not really enough for first at the moment, but we'll see if he can build on the final sector. Maybe he got the last corner a bit wrong earlier. I think the last corner would be one you would improve quite a lot on with the traction, and probably a lot less understeer too, so you probably will gain a couple of tenths on the final sector as Chaza comes up to the line third. Skyzy up by 7 tenths, could even challenge Abby, although Abby is on a lap nearly, so you would expect him to improve. But Skyzy into the final two corners in the Rich Energy Haas. Can he get him on those soft runners? That would be quite impressive if he does. And he does indeed, so Abby will need to improve. But let's watch Josh on for pole. At the moment, he is equal with his first sector on the last lap, so he needs to find all of his time in the middle and the final sector to try and get himself higher up the field. These are the only four, by the way, the top three and then fourth. There's a little car on the wall there. Sorry, top three and then fifth. They're the only guys qualifying at the moment, anyway, in the final laps on softs. Everyone else is trying something else on the mediums and they've set their laps already. So it's all about whether Josh can extend his lead and whether Abby can set pole or not. We'll wait and see what happens here, but it's about these two at the moment. Yellow flag's just ahead. That's a Ferrari, that'll be what's causing that. Josh is down in the middle sector, so that will open the door for Abby to try and take pole position here. Into the final two corners he comes, hitting the marker boards, trying to get the widest entry possible. And to the line, here comes Josh in the McLaren. Doesn't improve, so it's all about Abby now. Does he get onto pole position? It could be track position really quite key for these soft runners, I reckon, in this race, because they have to pull away, but they have to have the fastest guy ahead. I mean, this could be disastrous for these soft runners. It could be really good. It's just everyone behind is going to be on mediums or hards. That's the main issue that they are going to have. But Abby to the line. What's the lap going to be? Only P4. So Skyzy, I must say, lap of the session there to only be a couple of hundreds off a soft runner. That's really impressive. Anyone still on a lap? Matthew's still on a lap and up by 3 tenths on that lap. So not going to move up any places at the moment. And well, he'd quite like to get into the top 10 on that set of soft or medium tires, I would have thought. So let's see. To the line. Does he find what's in the last sector? No, doesn't find anything. I think last man across the line now is Harry, and he goes 11th. So okay. So yeah, everybody in the top 4 on the soft, and everybody else apart from Lewis qualifying on mediums, Lewis on hards. But everyone from 11th downwards will get to choose their tyre anyway. So we've got a very interesting strategy indeed for these guys in the top 4, and this gives us lads who are going to be in the higher tier tonight, on Sunday, a great insight into what the strategy might be. Because I need help. I don't know what I'm doing with strategy yet. Oh man. Anyway, there is your grid then. Josh is on pole from Zeus, Chaza, Abby, Skyzy, Larkin, Wesker, Ike, Domijib, Noel, Harry, Carriage, Leon, Warlock, Matthew, Matter, Lewis, and then retirements J. Cole and Paul. J. Cole retired after his first lap, and Paul I think had a qualifying ban. And like I say, everyone inside the top 10 will get to choose their tyre, and everyone inside the top 10 apart from the top 4 are on mediums anyway, so it's going to be this top 4. We're looking at them to see what type of strategy we're going to see from them, because it could be really anything. These guys could do a 2-stop or they could do a 1-stop. We could see a safety car come out like we saw with ILR8. We could see anything really affect their race here. It's going to be interesting, really, really interesting, I think. Shock horror, it's not raining. One day it will happen. I live for the day we see rain at Bahrain. It has happened at Abu Dhabi before. Ah, Lewis. He's set the wrong Bahrain. How have you done the? I mean, what have you put Bahrain short? He's put the wrong Bahrain setup on. But have you put the? What have you done? Have you done like Bahrain short or something? Oh dear, you don't do yourself any favors, man. Oh man. Oh well. He's gonna have a difficult time. Potentially. It could actually be a good time, but we don't know. Right then, on the grid. Let's see what tires everyone's going on to. Okay, some variation here. Everyone's going to try something different. So, 11th place. Well, actually, no, we'll go from first down, sure. We'll go Josh on pole, with Zeus second, Chazza third, and Abby fourth. They're on the soft compound tires that they qualified on. Skyzy is in fifth, with Larkin sixth, Wesker seventh, Ike eighth, Don Rajiv ninth, and Noel 10th. Now, outside the top 10, they get their free tire choice. Harry has chosen the mediums, while Carriage has chosen hards. Leon and Warlock also choosing mediums, and Matthew and Matter, along with Lewis and J. Cole on the hards. And Paul McGuinness decided to try something different, and he's going to start on the softs. And, yeah, we'll see, hopefully a flyback through the field from him after his horror class in Australia that's got him a qualifying ban for this one. I don't think he's got any in-race penalties to take though, so luckily he should be okay. But yeah, we're just waiting to see the start now. And hopefully we don't get anything like ILR8's start, because it did involve about 10 cars on the main straight and throughout the first lap, all getting some form of damage. Some people even retiring on the main straight, as Josh, the race pole sitter, has spun. That is not what you need for tyre wear or anything like that. That will ruin your tyre wear. Potentially, it could mean you're starting on really warm tyres, and that could lead to a really bad start. So as Josh already lost this race before it even started, oh man, it's good to see nothing's changed, Josh. It's good to see nothing's changed, I must say. Anyway, I mean, it can't go any worse than ILR3 Season 4, that's all I'm going to say. But to the grid, I think it was ILR3 Season 4, he took out about half the field. But they're all heading to the grid. Josh on potentially per tyres. Energy Zeus will be seeing that and being very happy. But remember, it's like a 600 metre dash down to turn 1. You can't even see the braking marker boards. You can barely even see the apex of turn 1. It's a long way down there. And so we can see a lot change on this. And Paul, last man onto the grid in the Ferrari. 23 viewers. Hello everybody. Do feel free to be active in the chat, because we're about to watch a race start here for ILR4 in Bahrain. Eventually. Here come the lights. 2, 3, 4, and now 5 lights ahead of the drivers. Lights out, away we go. Good start there from Zeus. Can he get alongside and ahead off that McLaren into turn 1? What about Chazza? He's also had a pretty decent start. They're all going to be 3 wide into turn 1. Who comes out on top? Bit of cons I think there as well, but Josh just about keeping the lead there. And Chazza now fighting for second place, and that could be a contact there. Larkin had to back out of that one, and that means Wesker is going right round the outside and up into P3. It's a racing point of carriage off the racetrack there, as Zeus and Wesker go side by side. Chazza up into P2 and almost contact, as Wesker, the highest medium runner now, sits in P4. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that one, and trying to go for P3 now as Harry falls down the field. Good move. And Abby falls down a position there. I think Matter as well been involved. There is Harry and Matter behind Carriage now. And Leon down at the back, and Noel, and wow, there's been a lot going on there. Whatever's happened there, there's a lot of contact, and Larkin's out of the race. We've got a virtual safety car. There was a lot. That corner almost turned into a parking lot there, so I don't know really who got damage. It felt like Noel was trying to get out of the way of some people. He's broke his front wing, look. Right, let's figure out who's damaged here. Matter, I can't see any damage on his car. Larkin obviously out of the race, so I don't know what happened to the turn 10, but someone definitely went very deep, certainly. But whatever's happened, we've got a virtual safety car. Hopefully nobody speeds under it. But Josh leading the race and pitting. So is he going to try and go for the 2-stop? We'll wait and see. Virtual Safety Car's gone in now, so it may not work out as well as he hopes. That is medium, so it will be a 2-stop strategy. Expect him on the salt at the end. And yeah, a lot of other people in the pits as well, although they could just be for damage. So Chazza leading the Grand Prix. And he probably led actually at the end of the first lap, so technically he's led every lap. But yeah, Wesker second, highest speed runner. Look out for him. He's a very good prospect. As Lewis, highest hard runner. He may have the wrong setup on, but he certainly had a brilliant start to this race. Probably benefit from all the drama. I imagine there's been quite a lot of position changes. Him, of course, being the highest, up there in 11 spots gained. Paul also making 9, with Jacob making 7. And Warlock even making 6 there, so plenty of gains made in the early stages of this race. But what about everyone's tyres? Josh has got a great gap. He's got 11 seconds ahead of him, and he's got good tyres to use. He's in a nice position here if he can just keep it on the track and not spin it like he did under the formation lap. Lewis could be a bit of a bottleneck, and Larkin got completely torpedoed into the wall. I did see that there was a Haas possibly. Well, it's hard to tell. A lot happened there. Once again, Sturge will probably have a look at that one later on. But Lewis is a bit of a bottleneck now. If he can stay along, the longer he stays ahead here, the better his chances of a good finish, because he's really, when DRS gets enabled, going to be under pressure, but he just needs to keep his cool because he's on a fantastic looking strategy at the minute. And DRS will be up the hill in towards turn 4, I think, and Zeus will be the first to have a look at it. And Abby 2, there he goes, both for them, but Zeus is considerably closer to Abby, so we'll see if there's a move waiting to happen there. Looking for Railwinds opening as well in the background, nothing there for Zeus at the moment. And yeah, Danny Boy saying there, using 2-stop for a virtual safety car. I think that's the only thing Josh can do, I think, there. But listen, he's in some free air. People will start fighting ahead. He'll be hoping his team will help him out and maybe start fighting Chazza for the lead. But if everyone can, you know, fight, then we're gonna have Josh in a pretty handy situation. Noel passing Harry, and they're gonna go side by side into turn 2 and turn 3 and probably turn 4. DRS for none of them. Interestingly enough, yellow flags. That's Leon out of the race. Down the inside, Noel braking rather early actually there, making contact, nearly doing a spin now style mistake there, but luckily keeping it alive. And yeah, like I say, Leon causing yellow flags there. He's out of the race. So Chazza leading at the end of lap 3. He's well out of DRS range. And Abby now trying to focus on passing Wesker, who's on mediums. Once again, he's a bit like Lewis. The longer he stays ahead, the better his chances of a good result are, because he's on a much better strategy, which may not even be a 2-stop. He could be in the net lead right now. We don't really know what's going to happen here. But we'll wait and see what happens. Carriage passing J. Cole into turn 1. He's going to want to cash up that train for P6 as Josh sets the fastest lap, gaining relatively quickly on Matter. And fighting on still side by side. J. Cole ahead of Carriage. And we'll look back from Matter. I thought he may have had a chance to catch up, but he won't. But look at this. Looks like Lewis is actually catching more up to Skyzy than people are catching to him. That's pretty impressive. Paul, by the way, really putting pressure on Ike. He's of course on softs. He would be wanting to make his progress really quickly at the minute, and he's hoping to pressure the Red Bull ahead into a mistake, but we'll see what he does. Long race, only lap 4, remember. It's not like we're thinking about lap 29 just yet. Looks like Zeus has lost a bit of time now. He's now outside of DRS, so Abby is free to fight. He will be a lot more comfortable, I would imagine, now. And Yellow's Ike has gone off the track. Has he spun or has he been tagged? That's something to figure out. I want to see a better view of his front wing to see if it's broken. I think he's either had a tap from behind or just spun off himself, but he hasn't hit anything. 27 viewers. Is that all we get around here? I might just become a full-time. I don't know who the commentator is, but you're fired. I like this. I like this. Plenty of viewers. Like I say, feel free to be active in the chat here. Like I say, Danny's asking actually for gaps at leader. Josh would probably come out in the lead, but it's just about whether he can get the gap and increase it enough to be able to make a second pit stop and still have the gaps. It's difficult. It is a difficult strategy, but listen, if you try something different, it might just work. He was already probably going to go for a 2-stop anyway, so we sort of knew that. But yeah, let's just look here at Lewis again, because Lewis, he's now back under pressure a bit. Skyzy, I don't know if Skyzy's damaged or something. I know I thought I saw him going quite wide at this corner when the lap 1 carnage was going on, but I don't really know if he's damaged or anything from it. I'd imagine he's probably not, or else he'd be really struggling. 28 viewers. Hello. I appreciate all of you. Even though I'm one of them, but I have to check the chat, so 27, but still. Shadow Chan asking if the best strategy is a 2-stop. I think a 2-stop's only going to work, honestly, if there's a safety car involved. I know Josh is catching rapidly up to some cars, but I just don't see him getting there in the end. It will be all about last lap, but I think safety car involvement could mean 2 stops the best, and we have seen virtual safety cars that will save Josh about 5 seconds. But we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see at the end of this race which potential strategy is better. I would say, though, right now, Josh's teammate, actually, Wesker, could be the one who's looking the best here, because he's now starting to catch up to our race leader. His medium tyres will start to become better than those wearing soft tyres, and he will find himself on a 1-stop pretty easily. Whether Chaza, Abby and Zeus can do that with ease is yet to be seen, and the same with Paul. But like I say, safety car could change it anyway, because we get a safety car at this stage, they can always pit for hards, apart from the guys on the actual hards themselves already, in which case they're in trouble. But we'll see what we can do. That's pretty close into there, or that could have just been the way the camera shot looked. It probably is just the way the camera shot looked at all. Yeah, sorry, I got excited there for a fight. A fight that wasn't going to happen. I wonder how early they're going to pit. I've seen in ILR8, I think it was lap 6 when they pulled the trigger to pit, and they were for 2 stops. So obviously we saw Josh do it on lap 1. So if they're going to do 2 stops, I guess maybe expect them in on this lap. But I don't see any pit indicators on for Wesker, so I assume he's going to be, or sorry, for Chaza. So I assume he's going to stay, and he is indeed. No DRS for Wesker. No DRS, well sorry, there is DRS for Abby, but slightly more powerful for Zeus. Will Zeus fancy a dive bomb soon, because he could maybe feel he's being held up a bit here. Wesker's a bit difficult through turn 1 there, he's being caught off a bit. And we're in that weird situation, they can follow, but they can't really pass. And by the way, sorry, I forgot to say, Undertime Gaming, he's supporting Wesker, you weasel. So, okay. Good to see support there, because he could well be the race winner by the end of all this. It's looking quite likely with his strategy. Let's see Josh's gap though to the leaders. It's 20 seconds. He's not closing at all. He's not closing the gap. I wonder if he's pitted too early. And basically his tyres are the same as Wesker, so he's not really going to catch up much. I wonder if he's got it wrong. I think he might have got it wrong. Can he gain 20 seconds in the last stint? I mean, that would be crazy. But I mean, we all watched Hungary, didn't we? With Hamilton, we know Hamilton could do it. So I'm not trying to compare Josh to Hamilton, but I mean, he may have to perform that same gargantuan feat. Right, when are we going to start seeing some overtakes then? Will Abby get Wesker this lap? Overtake for both of them, but DRS cruising for Abby. It's tantalisingly close, isn't it? It's like he could do it as Zeus pits, by the way. He could probably have done it there, but he decides not to. And besides, Wesker I think was defending the inside quite well. But yeah. Just no way through. Oh, I thought he nearly hit him there. He's looking at a much better exit and nearly ran into him. Zeus has been jumped, and J. Cole, side by side, and behind. matter. But 5 seconds the gap from Zeus to Josh, and that is a 2-stop as well. Except Zeus is going to run the soft tyres. So I think against the 2-stoppers, Josh is beating them. But against the 1-stoppers, he has to worry about, I think. I don't really know what we're going to say, honestly. I would be guessing if I was going to predict who wins this race. So I'm not going to speculate. I don't think I'm going to, because I don't know at all. This is like, I'm clueless. And this does not help me either, because like I say, I've got to figure out what my best strategy is going to be for ILR3, and I don't know. I don't know. These guys are really making this confusing. Charles Elster, he has to be on a 1-stop, doesn't he? Abby's pitting, I assume, to cover off Zeus, but what's he going to go on to? Hards or mediums or softs? It could really be any of them. Looks like it could be hards though. Mercedes driver on for hards to the end of the race. Bartholomew in the chat. Does everyone who raced use a pad or wheel? It's both. It's a mix of both, I think. I don't know. I don't know if Paul's actually on his wheel yet. He keeps threatening to use it, but he doesn't. A few people here, I imagine, are on pads, but Abby, that's just that Abby. He was jumped by Zeus there, and he sort of knew he had to catch up, but that was a bit bad. That wasn't, unfortunately, just went sailing off. It's like he was aquaplaning on nothing. And Josh trying to pass Ike. They're on a rather similar tyre, but Josh probably quicker and a bit of contact there. Ike having to concede in the end as Josh barges his way through. Lewis now in the back of Skyzy. I said he would be in a rather nice position. At the minute, he could be on for a potential podium, depending on what Chiazza does on his strategy, and he'd be on a quicker start at the end. Could Lewis do a masterclass? He was, what, 70 on the grid, wasn't it? You've got to say Lewis is in this for the win, haven't you? Now, obviously, I'm hyped from Baz's P14 to P1 masterclass earlier, and I think we could be in for the same here. We just have to see what the pit stops do. Chiazza pitting. Well, he should be on for hards. Lewis, fastest lap of the race. That's what you want to see. He's now making the move. He has pulled the trigger. And this is him now starting to push. And is he ahead of Skyzy? Should have it better up the hill. DRS as well. Zeus sets fast up the one near soft. You would expect that now. But Lewis has got some superb pace. So whatever strategy or whatever setup, sorry, he's got put on, it is helping him a treat right now. Lewis, one to watch, certainly for the win. Can he do it? I think he can. He'll be on the softs potentially at the end. Ah, man. I think he can do it. I personally think he can do it. We'll see what happens there. Paul, I think I got a penalty, by the way. It's the last man on the softs. I assume he may be wanting to go probably into the pits. He looks like he's struggling. He's got his pit light on as well. Started last. So he's definitely gained some positions, certainly. And there's plenty of people who haven't stopped yet, so we're not going to be comparing the people who have stopped, and maybe not Josh. I don't think Josh is our factor at the minute. Codemasters in the chat, the beautiful teammates, saying that if he's smart, he'll pit earlier for mediums. Yeah, but he could go on to softs and be like a rocket at the end. Obviously, Paga, we have to keep an eye on all this strategy because this is our race right here. We need to figure out what we're doing as well. And, you know, I hadn't considered starting. I hadn't considered qualifying on the softs, but you never know. It might well be the option. Here goes Skyzy. Not getting past it, but he should have a nice run up the hill. Although he is on phasing mediums, you would imagine Lewis would generally have the better run anyway. Up the hill goes Skyzy. He's going to go for it. I think he broke a bit too late there. He had to go for it and just avoids the spin there. Lewis getting a bit of a tap on the side pod there. Pakistan had the worst idea for strategy. Listen, if I hadn't stuck it in the wall in Australia, I would have won with the strategy, okay? It was a cracking strategy. Stop calling him a strategy bad. Trust me. I've been told to follow J. Cole because of an overtake. I'm pretty sure he was the guy that had just been overtaken though a bit earlier, so I'm with Skyzy because he's at least giving it a go. Paul, by the way, onto a 2-stop as well. He's onto a set of the softs. Parker, I did prove you wrong. You see in all the practice races where I didn't crash, my strategy, I kept beating you with it. So don't tell me my strategy's bad. Anyway, like I said, Paul on a 2-stop as well. How about this, Parker? If you consider a 2-stop for Sunday, maybe we should consider that. Yeah, actually no, it's not gonna work. I don't think 2-stop works, but we'll wait and see. Skyzy then going for another chance of an overtake. Pack, this isn't my strategy. I'm talking about their strategy. I'm just suggesting we may end up using some of their strategies. But anyway, yeah, Skyzy just not able to get past. I think the tires are starting to get past their shelf life at the moment. Zeus passing Josh. He's closed that 5-second gap down, and he's now going to try and make Josh pay. And yeah, I don't know. The more we see as Josh's strategy, the less I think it's going to work here. Down to P10. And Zeus, that is ahead. And they both have to pit again. So, yeah. Keep an eye on what they do later on. Maybe a safety car, like I say, could help them. But Skyzy, he keeps getting close, but just doesn't know where to pass. So probably going to frustrate him a bit. He may fancy a pit stop soon, actually. He may fancy just taking that bit into the pits now and trying to undercut. Lewis now is catching our race leader, by the way, Vesker. He's still doing rather consistent sectors, which isn't really much of a surprise on these mediums, or sorry, on the hards. It's the mediums ahead that he's got to worry about. He's catching on them really quickly. I think if Wesker stays out another lap, he may end up being overtaken on track. So expect that McLaren into the pit on this lap. There he goes. What about Skyzy? Will he follow? Yes, he will. And so Lewis takes the lead of this race. But will it be the win? Can he do it? It may sound unrealistic, but he's going to be on a very quick set of tires at the end of the race. And he's made up the positions nice and early. He avoided whatever chaos there was on lap 1. And he's in a great position to win the race. So we'll keep an eye on him. Zeus and Josh out ahead of Vesker. And Shaza is ahead. Abby also ahead of Vesker. But honestly, I don't know. Shaza's still looking alright there. In that group, probably still the best looking. Because the two ahead have to pit. But once again, they'll be on better tyres. But the thing that they don't have over Lewis and well, everyone else pretty much is that they're instantly behind. Pag's trying to give me a schooling here. He's trying to tell me more stuff. What do you want to tell me now? Gonna wait in Pag. But yeah, saying that, Josh and Zeus, they're probably coming to the realization that when they pit, they're gonna instantly be behind the 5 cars ahead. So they're sort of in trouble. I think the regret is sort of big there. No, we'll watch them later on. They could charge through the field, pretty much like all these guys are gonna do. So, Warlock pitting. He's gonna go, I'd assume, onto hards for the end. Parker says I can't keep it on the track in a night lap. Well, that's correct, but then again, Josh here can't even keep it on the track on a formation lap. That's technically more embarrassing, so. But yeah, Lewis leading the race. We've got, I think, 30 people in the stream now, so first things first. Goats. You're all brilliant. It's nice to have big support on the stream, you know what I mean? It's like 31. I would scream, but I'm not capable of doing that anymore. Paul with his second penalty. Paul is out there getting all of the penalties, isn't he? You'll want to be careful of that. Because, yeah, you will be trying to get points. Domrajib and Warlock, that's pretty precarious there, but luckily they both managed to survive it. Luckily, I say. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm screenshotting 31 viewers because I don't think I'm gonna say that again for a while. Call it sad, call it sad. Because it is actually quite sad, but Anyway, like I say, this feels a bit like ILR8. It's a bit of a slow burner, but when we get these strategies sorted out, we're good. The thing is, these guys on the hards, they're now out of the danger zone. My version of the danger zone is basically a safety car coming out. That is danger zone because, say it came out on lap 8 or 9 and they were on the hards, there's a chance they wouldn't have been able to get the tires they put on afterwards to the end, and so that would be them in real trouble. They're not out of that danger zone now. They can pit for mediums and they'll be fine. Everyone else, however, may have to pit for hards. Zeus may have to pit for... Well, I guess they can pit for mediums or hards, but... yeah. Some people may choose hards, some people may choose mediums. Depends what they have. But danger zone is pretty much out of the question. So everyone could do hards, everyone could do mediums pretty much at this point. So just something to point out there, that they're out of that zone. But Lewis, 10 seconds in the lead at the moment. The gap to Zeus is the... Well, let's just... Okay, Chaza, who's our main rival. His main rival. He's really got a pit stop over him. I mean, this is really looking good. I mean, Baz's performance earlier was inspirational. This could be just as inspirational. With the wrong setup on, as well, he says. Lewis has also got good ERS. Plenty of that left. Are we looking at the race winner? Let me know in the chat what you think. Is Lewis going to win this race? I personally think resigning, yes. But we'll see. We will see. It's just a waiting game. We have to wait and see what happens. Chaz and I captain's the back of Josh. He's probably fancying a pit stop soon, as is Zeus, and there they go. Probably regretting their life decisions, I reckon, at this point. Chaza ahead of them. Vesker trying to challenge Abby, who jumped him in the pit stops. And, well, Vesker, let's see him try and get the move done. Abby couldn't get the move done on him earlier. And they're fighting it pretty hard, and Vesker gets through on the first attempt I've seen anyway. And looks like Abby's coming back. Oh, he's really trying for the inside there, but he's not going to go for it. He's going to try outside instead. That could work too, but didn't have enough grip to put it right around the outside. Paul comes, he's at, well, sorry, not Paul, he hasn't pitted yet, has he? Zeus 13 for Josh 14, like I say, they're probably regretting their life decisions, and Paul will be also regretting his life decisions, unless he gets bailed out by a safety car. Pretty much, that's all that can save him. Skyzy is catching these two now as well. So that could become a three-way fight for the lead pretty soon, as Abby thinks about another attempt at a move. He's not letting Vesker get away quickly anyway, so that's good. Means we'll keep this fight going. ERS looking better for Vesker at the moment, but you know, DRS pretty much nullifies the advantage that Vesker will have, unless of course he gets overtaken and then can repass. But will it be even a final corner launch to try and scare Vesker off? Luckily not. Carriage and Matter pitting first of the hard runners, hard starters, and Jay Coulthard are all into the pits, so only Lewis remaining and only guy not to pit in this race. There goes Abby up into P3, and they're going side by side. I don't want to make a bit of contact. Here comes Skyzy. Where is he going to go? Vesker, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and Abby defending from Vesker now after getting back ahead. They're side by side to turn 4. Skyzy looking for the exit as well to try and get a gap, but not getting it at the moment. Everyone who pitted there on those hards are on some mediums. Important to note there. But yeah, good to see these guys fighting it very hard. This is probably going to be where they finish this fight. There's even a chance Lewis could just jump them. He's got his pit light on. He's been very consistent in this set, as you can see. He's still not losing much time every lap. He is driving for his life right now, and he's driving superbly well. And entering the pit lane probably at the end of this lap to put on some mediums, I would assume. I think he's going to win the race. It should be pretty easy from here on out, as long as he has no issues or no penalties. Let's just see what tower he puts on, though. It should be the mediums, and he should come out at worst 5th. with all these guys, and well, it might hold him up actually. He'll really want to be ahead. Medium tires for the Alfa Romeo driver. Is he going to come out in all this fighting? There goes Chaza back into the lead, but Abby doesn't get him, I don't think. Oh, he does get him. Lewis is going to be behind all of them, and he's going to see all this fighting going on. That's the worst thing he could possibly have seen, I reckon, coming out of that pit lane, because the three of them are all going for it. Abby ahead of Vesker, ahead of Skyzy, and they're all going to have their DRS there, Vesker and Abby. Side by side go the two drivers, one in McLaren, one in Mercedes, one making contact with the other, and the Haas just waiting in tow with the Alfa Romeo ready to points in all three. And Lewis, that's about 6 seconds off the lead of the race. It's his race to lose, I think. He has to be super careful. He's saved all of his ERS up. He's probably saved some fuel as well. He has indeed. He's got at least one extra lap of fuel. And can he get his first target now? On Skyzy, trying to go for the inside line. It's important he gets this done early. And he does it. Into turn 11. Nicely done. Turn 12. Look how much he pulls away with the extra grip instantly. Gap now closing towards 5 seconds as Vesker and Abby start to fight more. Lewis on the tail of the two of them as Vesker looks to back up a little bit, maybe trying to set up his run onto the main straight. And DRS now for Lewis as he tries to get by both of them primarily without causing any damage or getting any penalties. Vesker is even going to defend it. Does he feel there's any points in it? Lewis a bit late on the brakes, nearly crashing into the back of Abby, but he needs to get by that Mercedes up the hill, and if he does so, he is so good for this victory. Will it be running outside of turn 4? Will it be on the inside? He's going to try outside. Here goes Lewis for P2. Started that last lap in P5 out of the pit lane, and now, only a lap later, fighting for that P2 against Abby and making it stick. He got it done very quickly, but oh, contact! Contact! And there is Abby being spun off into the corner, 3 wide now, up towards turn 10. And Skyzy, Abby and Vesker all going for Skyzy, nipping around the outside of the two of them there. And Abby, the big loser, I think he got a tap there from Vesker into the corner. What was it, turn 8. I think there was contact there. But yeah. Well, I guess I'll find out later on, but Abby trying to get back past now the guy that I think tapped him up. Is there front wing damage on that McLaren? Could well be. But we'll find out, I'm sure. Looking at him there as they go side by side, there is front wing damage on the left end fence. Well, I say on the left end fence. There isn't a left end fence anymore. It has been dislodged. Will he be into the pit lane to fix that, or will he just have to brave it out? Oh, it's late on the straight. Very late on the straight. Nearly coming together on the straight. And these guys are really starting to fight this hard now. I think they've really got serious. I think they're both starting to get quite sick of each other now. Up the hill they go. Vesker on the outside of Abby once again. Turn 4. Ahead before the corner, but does he have the grip to get all the way around the outside of the Mercedes? Nope. And they make more contact. That could be the other end fence gone, possibly. Luckily it looks to still be on the car, but they are really fighting this hard. And by the way, we have a 3-way, 4-way potentially fight going for P6 as well. We will keep an eye on that one because we've got two guys chasing us on the soft tyre, or the softer tyre, the medium it is. And Lewis, gap to leader, 4.1 seconds. He's also got an 8-lap tyre advantage, and it's also softer. Surely, right? It's surely. It has to be, right? His race to lose. I think, anyway. But let me know in the chat, who do you think is going to win this race? Is it going to be Chaz? Is it going to be Lewis? Are they going to come together? Are we going to see somebody else come up and take this one? That's all yet to be seen. We could still see a late safety car. I could change everything. And this 4-way fight is looking pretty entertaining for P6. Warlock currently at the head of that, with John Reggie behind on the worst tyres out of the 4. And then we have Carriage and Matter on the new tyres. DRS for Don Regib and for Carriage and for Matter, and we got some yellow flags for Harry, who spins it round. Paul gets another penalty. But here we go. Look at this. This could get pretty hectic into turn 1. Dom Regime getting on the outside of Warlock, and Carriage just holding back. No, he doesn't have to fight too much, but still having a little bit of a love tap there on the back of the Toro Rosso. There's J. Cole, by the way, past Energy Zeus up the hill. He may have a chance of catching up with Dom Regime. I think he's gone deep. He's gone very deep. Warlock side by side with Dom Regime and getting past Lewis now, just about to go under 3 seconds. He was under 3 seconds very briefly, but then it fell back up again, or went back up again. Look how close these guys are. Brilliant to see. And you can see Lewis there in the background. Great helicopter shot, that. It's fantastic to see. Love those types of shots. DRS for Carriage. Looking and not finding a way through. They need to be, you know, doing this quickly. A bit like Lewis. He has to be getting past Charles quickly. So, because even though they have newer tyres, it doesn't mean they're going to last. You know, there's still 9 laps to go in this race. You're probably going to want to be ahead just to be safe, rather than to be fighting on worse tyres ahead. Yeah, that's in my opinion anyway. Right, I think we're going to go for round 3. I missed our first little bout because we were seeing Abby and Vesco going for it, but now we're free to watch these guys, at least until the start of lap 23, when I imagine we may be seeing Lewis going for a move. But here is Dom Regime, round the outside at turn 1, and that's super late on the brakes, by the way, from Carriage. I was worried he was going to run to the back for a second, but he's getting himself in this fight now. Where does he go? Dom Regime tucks in behind Warlock. And we're watching from behind as these guys are about to go 3 wide. Wow, Dom Regime, where's he went? Carriage just went around. And he's been collected by Matter, I think, a little bit. But Dom Regime, he was way off in Narnia. And somehow his whole car is still in one piece. Has Matter sustained any damage? I'm pretty sure there was a bit of contact. He's okay. Carriage gets spun back around as well rather quickly, but he's not into a 4-way fight with J. Cole introducing Josh. That was exhilarating. No, Lewis. He's got way more ERS than Chaza. Chaza, I think, has been pushing, and he's going to have next to no straight line speed. Lewis has got this all falling into his lap. He really has got this race in his hands. Does he take it and run, or does he bottle it? That's the question. Pretty simple question. I think he's going to win it. 1.2 seconds is the gap. And looks like Dom Regime, Warlock, and all of his other buddies are getting ready to fight it out once again. It looks like the tyres are dead on Warlock, but they couldn't possibly be dead. They're not even that far into the stint. But side by side, looking back from Matters, I'm sure he'll feel he can go 3 wide here. He's going to try it. Will he dive all the way up the inside of both of them? He decides just to stick back and let them two fight it out themselves. Side by side, up the hill, Dom Regime and Warlock. Clean racing, but still got a way to go here. Matter just taking a wider look at it, just trying to see if he fancies the move or not, as Warlock also fancies a move. But we'll catch up with those guys later on, shall we? Actually, I want to see how quickly these guys are doing. They're also rather close, but we'll catch up with them too. Because for the lead of the race, we have got Lewis, who started down in, let me just remind you, 17th place, and I believe it's 17th if anyone else has quickly look at it. He should be at 15th, he is indeed, McDeedy. I mean, we could be looking at 2 inspirational drives here in a row that I've been able to have the pleasure of commentating on. Baza's fantastic win from 14th on the grid earlier, one of the best examples of never give up after being involved in a humongous accident at the start of the race and somehow surviving, but is so far behind. Safety car came in and he won a clutch victory with the best decision making under that safety car. And now, from 17th on the grid, Lewis takes the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix in ILR4. Can he convert this? It would be one of the all-time drives in this league, matching likes of Cliffy in ILR1 last season, or not last season, 2 seasons ago when he won from right at the back. And I'm sure he'd be making the same comparisons if he was here. I bet he was regretting missing this one at the minute. But Lewis, from 17th, he's making this one work. And side by side for P7, Matter and Warlock fighting away. Looks like Dom Regime is starting to break away a little bit. And here we go up towards turn 4. Matter on the inside. of the tower also, and the outside of turn 4 doesn't always work, but it looks like it's working better this time. I think Massive with that contact had a little mini spin, and now he's side by side. Oh, Carriage had to cut the corner to avoid a crash, and they still make contact regardless. There's the Energy Juice, and they make more contact. And Matter goes into the side of Energy Juice and into Carriage twice, and they're nearly 4 wide. They're all trying to find a way through, and that's gone completely disastrously. There, all down the inside goes Josh, and up in the air he goes, and that's an absolute shambles, and that looks absolutely horrible from the onboard view as Carriage. They can't see each other. I think that's apparent, isn't it? They can't see each other. My God. Let's go back into the fight for the lead. Chaza hasn't got much to fight with. Lewis has got plenty to run away with, but there's still a potential move if Chaza can use that DRS well, but I just don't think it's enough to catch. I think Lewis has this in the bag at the moment. Here comes Josh on J. Cole, looking to make the move at the inside in the final corners, but deciding to hold back and go for DRS instead. Side by side they go. Both Renault powered. One McLaren, one Renault Works car. And down to turn 1, the pole sitter looking to try and recover a bit of ground. Up into P8. Can he get it? Up the inside he goes, and he's went nicely deep, but just enough to keep the position. Carriage could fancy it as well. Matter into the pits after that calamitous lap, really. And J. Cole round the outside, back ahead of the pole sitter. And they want to be careful not to make any contact. They did see what just happened to Matter, so they don't want to replicate it. And J. Cole ahead of Josh. So we've got 5 laps to go in this race. It's flew by, this one. And Lewis, like I say, just, it is lovely to see, and a nice inspirational drive like this one. We love seeing inspirational drives. We've seen 2 of them tonight. Did Lenny say that? Did Lenny say Lewis is going to win? When did you say that? Well, I mean, you said Lewis almost beat Rafa, but like, it's not the same thing. Oh, well, Jack says that Lewis has to go up. I would agree with you, but I don't really care about that. We're going to ignore that, Jack. Let's just let us enjoy this. He's went from 17th to 1st. He's now fighting for the victory. And could well take it as well, although the tyres may be starting to die a little bit. And that means Charles is back into it, but he hasn't got ERS to fight with. Lewis is still saving it. And it looks like J. Cole and Josh are fighting away again. Tell you what, Jack, you'd do well to put Lewis in ILR3 for this weekend. It'd be good to fight him then. I think he'd fit quite well with us. Anyway, Josh, a very frustrating day, I think. He's stuck in 9th. He's probably regretting his life choices probably after qualifying, and he sort of realised that and oh my goodness, only 3 others that went for the softs in qualifying. I don't know if he's definitely regretting this. I'm sure it will maybe help his decision making later on in the season. Sadly, I won't be able to see how he progresses from this, because this is probably the only ILR4 race I'll ever commentate in my whole life. Still. Lenny. I see Lenny's taking the full credit for this victory. I said, I've been at a party with him all week. Tell him strats. No, I want to not quickly check penalties just before this all goes wrong. Lewis is 1 more in the way. Chaza can afford, you can afford, sorry, a little token penalty, a little token corner cut. Some people don't agree with these, but you can do it. Like I say, I'll bring this up again. One hub when Odems did it. I think that's when it was highlighted best. When he had to make a 3-second gap at the end of the race to win, and he just flat out cut the corner, and he got a warning, but he could afford it. And people weren't too happy about that. But you know what? You can do it. And ever since that happened, I think more people have started to do it. I think maybe lots of people saw that clip. And I wonder if Chaz will fancy using one of his little token corner cuts or whatever to maybe try and catch up Lewis, because for some reason he's not saving ERS. I don't know why he's not saving it. It's pretty easy, like you just go 0 in the middle sector. You can go 2 up towards the straight and then just run overtake on the 2 straights, and maybe high onto this up towards turn 4. Like, it's not too difficult to save it here, but And when I say 2 straights, I mean the 2 long straights. The one coming up now and then the big front straight. But listen, he may just need DRS to get by. But with the minute, Lewis, I think, would just be able to match his power. He says, I've got DRS, well, I've got 2 better engine modes. What about fuel? I'm trying to look on the steering wheel there. I think that's a 1 for Chazza, so I don't think he's looking amazing on it. I think Lewis has got a couple more little bits of fuel. That could be an extra lap. And look at that, Lewis's teammate coming out possibly to save the day. And remember that Lewis said that he chose the wrong setup. He said, I had the wrong Bahrain setup. I'm trying to get exactly what he said actually now before, just so I can quote him. He says, I've loaded the wrong Bahrain setup. You should have the wrong setups more often, my friend, because it's lap 28. You're leading the race from 17th. Let me remind you that again. 17th on the grid. We saw Baza, whoa, as J. Cole nearly has a spin. We saw Baza win from 14th on the grid earlier on. And we're about to see Lewis try to win from 17th. This is going to be a tense final lap, though. Because Chazza could end up going for a dive here, and if he does, then Skyzy's in prime position if they collide in a big enough manner. But what's Chazza going to do? He hasn't saved the ERS for some reason. He's not doing it. He seems to be refusing to save. And Lewis, I'm sure his teammates, Harry there, is just going to say, my teammates in the leading race could do with a bit of a tow. But he's not playing the teammates game at the minute. I think he might be going for fast lap time. I think Matter holds that at the moment. He won't get a point for it. I wonder why Lewis's teammate there, Harry, hasn't actually. I mean, they're both CPI as well, I believe. I wonder why he hasn't, helped out there. But Chad hasn't got any energy anyway. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. Lewis, starting the final lap, should have this in the bag now, unless he makes a mistake. Remember, he's made 16 spots since the race started, and it all happened, I think, on lap 1. He made 11 of those spots on lap 1, rest of it through strategy. I think the 11 on lap 1, I think pretty much everyone came to a standstill on lap 1 at the hairpin, or not the hairpin, sorry, at turn 10 you call it. It's like a hairpin. I don't know what happened there. They all sort of came to a stop, and Lewis seemed to have helped, I guess. Helped his way through and helped himself to 11 spots. And it's led up to this final lap of the race. And Lenny wants me to give a shout out to Josh and Ben giving me the extra views. Cheers, my dudes. Hope you're enjoying the race, and I hope you haven't just turned on because Lenny told you to. And if you are new, subscribe, put notifications on. That goes for the other 26 of you, not counting. Well, yeah, the other 28 of you, I guess, in there. If you haven't subscribed, put your notifications on. Don't want to miss these live races, and you don't want to miss drives like this, because Lewis into the final corner now. He started 17th on the grid, and he's coming up to the line to take an incredible victory here. Absolutely stunning performance. Surely he'll be heading up to ILR3, I'd imagine. And yeah, 17th on the grid to P1. I mean, all you can do is sort of clap it, can't you? I mean, I've seen 2 good performances tonight. 14th to 1st from Baza and ILRA. If you missed that race, watch it after this. Fantastic race. And 17th to 1st. Lewis is your winner. Chaz is 2nd. Skyzy 3rd. Abby 4th. Domergy 5th. Vesker 6th. Warlock 7th. Josh 8th. Jake 9th. And finishing your point scores is Ike in 10th. Carrot 11th. And Matthew 12th. Zeus 13th. Matter 14th. Paul will be the last unlapped car, with Harry 16th and Noel 17th. And Lewis lost 4th gear at the final corner. That could have been awkward, couldn't it? That could have been really bad, as Paul, Jack Gooding. We're getting that on the steward's office in a minute. You can't do that, Paul, because it doesn't look good. God's sake, Paul. And Jack's watching, you idiot. Ike's DRS was open. Respect. Oh, okay. I didn't know your DRS was open. I'm surprised you've been able to survive that. Okay. Okay, I didn't notice that. Okay, well done. You survived, you got a point of it. I'm actually very impressed with that. Chazza said you gave it everything, and P2. You could have saved the RS. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to nitpick it. I don't want to sound like I'm being mean, but if you just went to 0 in the middle sector, you would have won. Oh well. You're fighting against someone who's probably going to be going up a tier. You've done well to be that close, but from 17th on the grid, Lewis is your winner for Alfa Romeo. Second, Chatter. Third, Sky CNN. Abby, Domergy, Vesker, Warlock, Josh, J. Cole, Ike, Carriage, Matthew, Zeus, Matter, Paul, Harry, Noel, and then your retirements, Leon and Larkin. I have been your stand-in commentator for ILR4 this week. Tony should be back next week. Should be no real issues with that. And I thank you for letting me do this, by the way, Jack. I know you're in here. Cheers for letting me do the back-to-back. And I'm going to take a break now. I've done quite a lot of commentary in the last couple of days. And yeah, I'm going to relax on Friday. Sweat like hell on Saturday for the race on Sunday. And you can watch me, by the way, ILR3 at 8. Hopefully I won't... Well, hopefully I'll get pole again. But hopefully I won't crash on lap 3 again. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and enjoy the rest of your lives. Thank you for getting us up to 30 viewers, by the way, on that stream. I love seeing the high support on these streams. It's great to see, especially on a Thursday night. We don't normally get as high as Sunday, so that's really nice to see. Cheers to everyone who turned up. Cheers to Lenny, who got like 6 of his family members to put the stream on at the end. And yeah, I've been a commentator Omar, and safe travels. Enjoy life. Yeah, safe travels.